Right. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Josie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. I'd like to spend a few minutes with you, and first let me tell you that I appreciate the time that you're giving me.
Sure.
I know your time is valuable, and I want to make this valuable. So we're going to do, as you know, a rounding session where I'm going to ask you some questions, but I really want you to think more of it as a conversation
Okay.
than anything. I may take some notes if you tell me something that I feel I want to act on or possibly give to somebody else
Okay.
to do.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you.
I also want you to be very candid and very honest. This conversation really stays between the two of us. Unless you have something specific, maybe in a process or something about the operations of the laboratory that we certainly can work on and fix, and then we'll make sure that we get that to the right person to expedite that. Okay? All right.
Yeah.
So, have you been rounded on before, Ian?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know the basics. I'm going to just ask you a few questions, and like I said, I want you to respond as honestly as you can.
Okay.
Now, I'd like to know, how's your family?
Family's doing good. Yes. Zoe, my little one, just turned 2, so she's starting a phase of this terrible tooth.
Yeah.
So she's acting up a little bit, but everybody's fine. No one's sick. Everybody's doing good.
And if I remember correctly, you have another daughter
Yes.
as well, right?
Yeah, Sophia.
Sophia,
Mhm.
yeah, and she's 4?
Getting there.
Okay.
3.
She's
3 and a
3.
half. Yeah.
All right.
3 and a half. So, but she's great. She's learning a lot from her sister.
Of course.
I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, she's following the younger one now.
Yeah, and that's usually the way. It's the terrible 2s, the troublesome 3s, and the
Mhm.
fearsome 4s. You do know that, don't you?
No.
Okay, so you're not out of the woods yet.
So it goes all the way till 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then somehow magically they become little people, and you can reason with them somehow. So
Till they get into the teenager phase.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Enjoy 5 to 14, 5 to 13, because it's really the best time. How's Francesca?
She's doing fine.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Enjoying the time home. She's
Yeah.
liking that.
Good. I'm sure the girls keep her busy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than working, but doesn't work out.
Well, they've introduced and they're putting a very strong emphasis on Creation Health
Oh, yeah.
at Florida Hospital. And the reason for that is because the principles of Creation Health really, if you live them, they really can be a life philosophy. So tell me something that you've embodied into your lifestyle, into your world, revolving around Creation Health.
Well, about that, I like the logs that we do here in the lab because it actually helps me focus on doing some activities, special activities. I like doing that, so I try to incorporate the most that I can in my life and keep track of it. So it helps me doing that. And something that I became very conscious about was my eating habits. So I'm modifying a few of them, and I get rid of all soda, so I don't barely drink soda if I drink any a month. And a few things, I've been keeping in mind. So I really like the principles.
Yeah, good. The lab program on Creation Health has been very robust, and there's a lot of different things that go on. The logs, for one, telling people about 5Ks that are coming up. I mean, just multiple things, and giving people that opportunity to earn those points.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would add to the program, or that you think would be beneficial to the staff to know about as far as Creation Health is concerned?
I think here in the lab we cover a lot. So adding something, I will have to think about it if I can come up with something else. But
Okay, well,
at the moment, no.
I'm going to be rounding on you at least once a month, once a month,
Okay.
maybe a little bit longer. So do think about that, and if you think of something that you feel you would like to take to the Creation Health Champions, we can certainly do that because they're open to any suggestions to make the program even better.
All right. I'll think about it then.
Okay. One of the other questions that we like to ask is, what is, the saying is, what is working well? But what do you like about working here in the laboratory?
I really like that it's a happy place, basically. It's very, we're responsible people and all that, but we have fun and we enjoy each other's company and we can, joke around and all that. It's not that strict environment, professional only. It's more friendly environment, so I like that. So it's working very well.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. Anything we can do to enhance that? I mean, to make it even a happier place for you?
More food always works. No, we're doing good. We're doing really good over here. So, but if I have a suggestion, I would be the first one to work with the committees and the guys that keep this going. So.
Well, and that's what we want. We want that open communication, and that's part of the reason why we do this is because you said that if you have a suggestion, you're going to bring it to whomever. But there's many people, especially in our lab world, who would not do that. They will wait to be asked. So that's part of the reason why we do this is we get that very intense input, and people feel comfortable when they're asked to be able to share something who may not feel comfortable sharing it under another circumstance or just going to somebody and saying something. So that's part of the reason that we do the rounding with many, many other reasons. Is there anybody that you would like to recognize? Now, when I say that, it doesn't have to necessarily be a staff member. It certainly can. It can be any member of the healthcare team here, a physician, a nurse, a physical therapist, a transporter. It doesn't even matter as long as you feel that they've done above and beyond and you feel that they deserve that recognition.
I actually have someone in mind as you were talking. JP is from Environmental Services and he comes every other weekend. But I really like having him working because when he comes, he just doesn't pick up trash and leaves. He is friendly with us. He takes care of our employee lounge. He takes the time to actually scrub the floor and clean and keep it organized for us. And I really appreciate that because I've seen others that don't do that, and he really takes ownership of keeping our area clean. So he definitely goes above and beyond.
And that's great. And to follow up with that, what I will do is now that you've given me that information about JP, I'm going to contact his manager and I'm going to let him know that you have recognized JP. And I'll also probably give them some kind of little gift card or something to enhance that recognition. It's always good to hear you're doing a good job, but when you get a little something for that, it makes it even better.
Definitely he'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do know he does that. I mean, I've seen him do things that he doesn't really have to do, so I appreciate the fact that you brought his name up. One big question, very important. Do you have what you need to get your job done, from the equipment, the tools, a pen, a piece of paper, anything whatsoever that you feel is lacking or is here to help you do your job?
Well, sometimes during the weekends we run out of things like supplies, especially for the phlebotomy area. So that is becoming a challenge.
Okay.
So that will be it. And it's in general, it's not one specific item. Sometimes are the tubes, sometimes are the butterflies, sometimes it's something else, So that's the only thing. So it's kind of in general, when the weekend comes, we're lacking some supplies.
And that you think, and that's much more directed towards the CLAs than the techs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do with that is Erica, who is our inventory young lady.
Mhm.
I will discuss this with her, and
Okay.
maybe we can create some par values that she knows we need at least this, and then if you run out of that, you let one of us know, and we'll
Mhm.
say, okay, now we need to increase that, or decrease it, or whatever the case may
Okay.
be. Because you shouldn't have to be worrying about that on the weekend. You're on core staff as it is anyway.
Yeah.
And to have to go to the mezzanine, I know can be a time-consuming thing sometimes,
Yeah.
especially when you're not familiar with the area, or even the stock room over here, you know,
Yes.
so. Any processes that you feel we could improve on?
The send-out process, it's a little confusing, and I've been trying to help on that, but I don't know why I can't understand why is the list not printing properly, or if the people are following through, following and checking that out. It's very frustrating, especially if you have to be calling patients back or the nurses, or even the nurses saying, hey, I need a recollect because, and then you don't know what to say because, we screw up basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the process on the send out, we can definitely find a way to make it better.
Do you feel that you need more education when it comes to the send-outs, or do you feel you're familiar with it enough that you can enhance the process or help enhance the process?
Maybe half and half.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more education to understand more about the list and why we do it and how we do it and how we should be doing it. But I also have some ideas that, it could work on the process that we can share with the manager and the other employees.
Okay. Would you be willing to be maybe part of a focus group or a subcommittee that would be able to improve on that?
I can help, but I don't want to be part of it.
Okay.
Okay. I can give my input.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, I will take that back to the CLA manager, and we'll see if we can make that better. Because again, could be frustrating on the weekends it's frustrating all the time, but
Mhm.
particularly when you're dealing with less people here
Yeah.
on the weekends.
It's becoming burdensome.
Yeah.
Employees.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share with me?
No, I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Well,
you for
once
your
again,
time.
thank you for your time, and thank you for such good input, because this is how we make things better for employees that work here. I say this all the time, and I really mean it. I and we can't fix what we don't know.
Mhm.
So one of the purposes of rounding is to get to know what the employees are thinking and feeling, and how can we make life here at Florida Hospital Altamont as a laboratory, as an employee, better for them.
Okay.
All right? Thank you, Ian. See you next time.
Yes.